27-year-old U.S. veteran, Andy Nguyen. He went to Ukraine in April because he felt it was wrong to do nothing when people were suffering. I've heard that from a lot of U.S. veterans that I met in Ukraine. Now, while there, Andy was captured by Russian forces and held prisoner for 105 days. He was beaten, tortured, sleep-deprived, electrocuted, and forced to make propaganda videos. If he refused, he was told that he would have his fingers cut off, or worse, that he'd be killed. He was released just a couple of weeks ago and is now back at home in Alabama, and he's with us now to talk about it. Andy, thank God I see you looking well, and I appreciate you being here. How are you feeling?
Great to be here. Feeling well.
Are you dealing with anything after the fact? Are you seeing doctors? You taking care of yourself?
Yes, seeing doctors, that's kind of a slow process on its own. Everything else has been a very slow process, but I'm slowly but surely getting there.
What were you doing in Ukraine?
What was I doing in Ukraine? That's a good question. From the initial invasion, again, it was just wrong to sit by and do nothing. The people there needed help. I came to help.
But to be clear, were you there to fight, or were you there to help them with your training and your understanding?
I was there to help them any way I can, whether that be do humanitarian efforts or military efforts through training or fighting if need be. But my sole purpose there was not to fight.
What did the Russians say when they found out you were an American?
Ooh, what didn't they say? The Russians have kind of an underlining hate towards like Americans or really other foreigners that aren't Russian. Really nothing nice to say that I probably shouldn't be saying on live television.
How bad did it get for you in their custody?
For Alex and I, it got pretty bad, and again, just won't get into it, but honestly, I think because due to our nature of our nationality, they treated us relatively better compared to other Ukrainians that were there.
You saw a lot of horrible things, I know. What kept you going in there?
What kept me going? Well, one of the main things was actually Alex. Alex and I, through thick and thin, we persevered together. The other foreigners, thoughts of my fiance, my family, my friends back home, and to know that if I was there, another Ukrainian or another foreigner was not there in that position.
Is it true that when they told you you were going to be released after over 100 days, you were worried that you didn't want to leave other people there and that now you feel guilt about being home?
Yes, I do have a little bit of survivor's guilt on that matter. There are other people still there, other Americans still held hostage for wrongfully held, like hostage really. Other foreigners, other Ukrainians, they are still there and I'm here. It feels good to be home, but it still hurts knowing that there are people still being held captive.
You've been trying to raise attention to a person in particular named Swady. Who is that, and what do you want people to know?
Swady was originally born in Rwanda. He moved to America when he was like 17. He joined the United States Air Force for about 8 years, and eventually when he left service, he traveled to Ukraine to live there. He was wrongfully abducted in Kherson, and he's been held with Alex and I and all the other foreigners. When all the combatants got released, he was still held captive because his case was under a civilian trial, not a military.
Did you think that you were going to get released, or did you think it was going to end for you in there?
It was very hard to tell. A couple of days we have good news, and then we get no news, or we would get bad news. Multiple times we were told that we were just going to get executed, no trade in progress, or our governments were just doing nothing, even though we knew that they were. But there wasn't really a defined answer whether we were going to get released or executed.
What do you want people to know about what's happening in Ukraine?
The people of Ukraine definitely need our help. Any support really is appreciative. The more support that we are able to get to Ukraine, the sooner this war ends, the sooner the suffering ends.
Is it true that you want to go back even after everything that happened to you?
Yes, definitely do. I know that may sound crazy. I just know that what I know, what I can provide, is definitely needed, whether that be through humanitarian or military training. But I know, as of right now, I can't allow myself to be selfish to go back again. I do have obligations here with my family. Potentially, after the war ends, I can help with the rebuilding.
Well, Andy, you've got some heart, and I appreciate the bravery and your commitment to people that you didn't even know.
Thank you.
I wish you well. I hope you
Thank
recover
you.
completely, and I look forward to hearing what you do next. Andy Nguyen, thank you very much.
Thank you.